Hey, good morning, everyone. Today is July 25th, 2025. It is a Friday. I feel like every time I start one of these now, I'm always putting my hair up, and I don't know why. But, yeah, it's cool to have long hair for once. I have not really had super long hair for most of my life, so it's like I've never been able to actually tie it up, and it's pretty cool. I like it. I really, really enjoy it. So, yeah, I'll get into the goals for the days. Gonna brush my teeth, make a morning video log, edit video logs. I need to pick up my focus meds. I just took my last one today. And then work on some video log descriptions for video logs that I still need to make. I needed to move my watermelon vine into the sun. I did that last night, as well as grab the rings out of the Corey's car. I'm going to rewrite this because I checked off the wrong goal. Haven't done that yet. So I have moved the watermelon vine into the sun, have harvested the green beans, and I did grab my rings out of my little brother's car. And then I also need to label the video logs that I have recorded, which is a much taller task than I realized. Let me see how many videos I have unedited. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 8, plus 8 is 22. Plus 7 makes 29, so I need to label 29 videos, which is pretty sick. And so, yeah. But I woke up at 11 today, I slept in a little bit, and then I played some video games, went out and harvested the green beans in the garden. I had a ton, it was like a really nice batch. And then came in, I made spaghetti, I had meat thawed in the fridge, and some sauce to use, so I used it. And then, came up and we're eating. I was like, I just wanted to get to work, so I'm ready to label some video logs. And, yeah, this morning I went on my YouTube, let me pull it up. And I had posted on a Homath video. If you don't know who that is, it's this guy who talks about like male women like dynamics essentially. But he talks a lot about consciousness, okay? And so one of the things that he mentioned was he talked at this. I have to comment this because like a timestamp, right? And it was like he was reacting to a video of this woman who was expecting this man to do something and was just like expectations unfounded basically, and was just like, it's unfair that you do this, and was like trying to gaslight him into doing something unfair. And so Homath points out and was like, she can't imagine herself in his position and realize that it's unfair for him. That's like respect. Like, to me, that's respect. So there's respect of like, I respect you as a person, there's respect of like, I respect you as an authority, and then there's respect of no matter what you've done, I'm going to treat you the same way that I would want to be treated in your situation, right? And so I made a comment and was just like, this is exactly what I try to explain to people about ICE forcibly deporting people with no due process. And I was just like, I literally can't comprehend that people believe that in that scenario, they wouldn't want to be treated fairly. Like, they would want to be treated the way we're treating immigrants. And so a bunch of people responded this morning. It was really, really cool. And basically all of them were just defending illegal immigration, illegal deportations. What? And like some of them were so I'm gonna read all of them. One was, being deported without trial is what's fair. He starts it off like that. And he says they get that in return for skipping the line and sneaking in, breaking the law. Break the law, get punished. Perfectly fair. Your grandpa is smarter than you. I used it as like, my grandpa can't imagine. And so I respond to him. His name is John Reinhard. And I said, this is a whole cesspool response of backwards thinking and misinformation. The trial is meant to determine guilt, but you've already done it for them. You can already find cases of American citizens being deported because of the color of their skin, and that's not okay. And it wouldn't be an issue if we give everyone a fair trial. Also, if you're defending this, I'm assuming you are American, so I'm just going to quote your Constitution directly. I put not. I need to edit that. Perfect. Nor shall any state deprive any person of a life, liberty, or property without due process of law. If you don't agree with your Constitution, why are you here? And if you wanted it changed, you can call your congressman and ask them to appeal and remove this clause from the amendment. That is fair. That is changing the rules so we get the outcome we want from the game. Defending and deporting anyone with no due process is against the Constitution, and you are defending that, and that is blatantly un-American. Don't tell me not to make my government follow the rules that they make. What the fuck? And that one was just like particularly, I was just like, this guy's insane. Another person said, It's not the same situation because in the case of your grandpa, although he may fail to empathize, he is correct. While in the case of the woman failing to empathize is in the wrong. If you want to stay in the case of immigration, I would compare it to how some illegal immigrants don't understand they are doing something wrong because they don't put themselves in the shoes of the citizens of the country, people who want to immigrate legally. This was kind of correct. Like, I half agreed with this because he's basically going, hey man, although your grandpa's not nuanced and like lacks empathy, he's correct. But he doesn't like explain how it's correct to illegally deport them. And he basically says like they're not putting themselves in the shoes of the, and I'm like, I responded and said, where is it at? Where is it out? It's this one. I said this is literally victim blaming. Like, you're literally just going, like, was that the right one? Let me make sure. Fausto. I said this is literally victim blaming. America can have multiple cultures from multiple different countries. I understand there will be polarizing outlier situations where they don't understand what the point of a police officer is, or that they can't be bribed, or that you can't say certain things to them. That isn't like, that's ignorance. Like, I'm not saying that those people don't exist. I'm not ignorant of that at all. That doesn't mean they deserve to be deported without due process. It literally has due in the term. They are owed it, and we are taking it because we are so polarized. Like, that's exactly what Nazi Germany did with the Jews in Nazi Germany. Make people so upset that they look the other way when blatant human rights violations are occurring. And I said, don't defend this dog. It ain't right. My grandpa's blatantly ill-informed on most modern concepts. Like, that's just it. I need to edit this because I put American, not America. So, edit. Good. Cool. And then, so someone else said, I'm just going to read these all. You can leave if you want. I don't care. I was like, if you find this boring, I find it fun. And then this other guy, Bagley, he said, it's entirely possible your grandfather knows what people want. Just because they want it doesn't entitle them to it. And I said, you're half correct about the second part, but they are entitled to it. Like, just because it doesn't always mean they're entitled to it. But they are entitled to it. It's written directly in the Constitution of the United States. Nor shall... Why did I keep putting not? I feel like my phone auto-corrected or something. Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Same thing I said to the other guy. If you are against that, you can call your congressman and have them try to appeal to amend it. That's proper. What he is asking for is a secret police to simply whisk people away, and that is exactly what we need to avoid to keep the country safe. Thank you. And then there was a guy who said, so you don't go through due process to get into the country, but it's unfair when you don't get due process upon being deported. I don't see how it's fair or practical for there to be a trial for every deportation case. This had like one of the longest ones. It's literally written in the Constitution that everyone and a person on American soil receives due process. If you genuinely believe what you say here, you can do it the correct way and contact your representatives in Congress to have them and the Constitution remove that portion. That would be fair. Or we could uphold our promises as a country to every person on our soil, as we have always done until now. Issues don't need to be so polarized that we are forcibly removing people to other countries without any form of trial. Also, the term due process literally has due in it. They are owed the process. It is their right. We are stripping that away in the pursuit of racial discrimination. Blatantly, by the way, multiple Hispanic citizens have had no trials and have just been abducted, easily Google searched. There's no reason that we can justify that. Even weapon dealer Russian oligarchs receive trial and sanctuary here, and we can't give the same treatment to regular illegal immigrants? Like, I genuinely can't imagine why not. Then there was one from Ronaldo, wherever he went. Oh, he deleted his comment. No way he deleted his comment, bro. It was the funniest one. I might be still have it in my notifications. Let me see if I can find it. Please do. Please do. He was a buffoon. Yes. He said, illegals are not being treated unfairly. What's unfair is immigrants who went through the process of legally entering the country and gaining citizenship legally. Number 2, illegal immigration is unfair for the taxpayer. Something legal immigrants also do is pay taxes. Illegals don't pay taxes. Don't spread misinformation to me, bruh. Why should someone who doesn't pay taxes on anything enjoy the exact same freedoms that the taxpayer does? Freedom isn't free. You're completely ignoring the taxpayer to give... You're completely ignoring the taxpayer to give free handouts to people who don't contribute to society at all. I love when people spread misinformation in my comments. I love it. So I replied and said, brother, this is so easily debunked that I can't even believe I have to respond to this. I do tons of political research in preparation from Presidency run. Illegal immigrants do pay taxes. That's why they're given social security numbers. It's the easiest way for the government to track them and tax them without them receiving citizenship. I've seen the pay stubs from field workers who go into the banks in my town. They all have taxes taken out. You are blatantly misinformed and can literally just Google, do illegal immigrants pay taxes? The answer is a resounding yes, but they don't receive any of the benefits from the taxes they pay into Social Security. Don't try and spout misinformation to me, bro. I'm not going to stand for that. What is, and this is on this is on a channel that is I would almost call it man-pilled, right? And so it kind of attracts a more toxic masculinity who, these people, I would go as far as to say, when you are anti-women, you are more likely to be anti-immigrant. It just kind of happens. So when you are a man-pilled channel like this, and you can have very nuanced takes, people are so polarized naturally that when they're polarized towards pro-masculinity, they have to be polarized towards anti-femininity and anti-difference. It has to be anti-immigration. So I love that I left this comment, and because something he said directly supported how I think about these situations. It's a part of my nuance. And people are sitting here going, nah. Nah. Immigrants bad. Dude, you're proving my point that you're at a lower level of consciousness. I'm talking about the consciousness level. The thought process that he explained for that level of consciousness is exactly what I'm saying you're a victim of. And you're proving it. And you're spreading misinformation at me while doing it. Don't fucking tell me misinformation, dude. I'm not here for it. I don't believe the world should be misinformed. There. That literally can be my whole presidential campaign. I don't believe the world should be misinformed. That's it. So, yeah. I'm going to get ready for the rest of the goals for the day, and, yeah. I'll see y'all tonight. Peace.
One eternity later.
Turned off the fan for you guys so you can actually hear me. Good evening. Today... Don't know why that's in the shop. Skiabs, you're so cute. Today is July 25th, 2025. It was a Friday. It was really good. I'm pretty tired right now, so if I seem a little scatterbrained, that's why. I've just been chilling. It's been a day. I've been watching some videos, reading about stuff. A lot of stuff about conscious critical thinking skills, looking at data and deriving your own opinions instead of just looking at what media places on you, which is not so easy. But yeah, I spent a lot of time talking about immigration today, and in the morning video log I responded to some YouTube comments and shared those responses. I got one more response, but it was something kind of lame. He basically said, "You're stuck on level 6." So for those of you who don't know, just because I literally just talked about it for you 3 minutes ago, whole math talks about the levels of consciousness. So 1 is I want. So it's a baby. All it knows is I'm hungry, I'm cold, I'm sleepy. It doesn't know other people exist. The second level of consciousness is knowing other people exist. That is taught through the concept of sharing is caring. These people have feelings too. That's it. When you realize other people exist, that's a second level of consciousness. The third level is do good thing. It's you know that how you interact with them affects your dynamic, essentially. And so it's I know I want this, and I know they want this, and it's being willing to understand that if you do something good for them, it will make them feel good about you. So it's a thought about their thoughts about you. So it's that third level of thinking, right? The fourth level of thinking is law and order. So it's conforming to rules and understanding the importance of blanket rules. It's where it's the base of society, right? And so you can be at level 1, 2, or 3 and be a part of a society, but you won't be a successful adherent part of the society until you're able to conform to laws, right? You won't be a true member of society if you don't get laws. It just, if you don't know not to kill people, you're just not going to succeed in society, right? It's just that simple. And so that one is conformity, right? And then number 5 is it's independence or something. And number 6 is essentially like acceptance, like blanket. I would almost call it like ignorant acceptance. And so it's kind of the thought of like other people exist and have feelings, and they're all valid, and it's all okay. And these level of consciousnesses aren't even like, they don't even really make sense. Like everything's okay, And so it's like, really, everything's okay. But and then the 7th level of consciousness is accepting that like it's like true acceptance. It's like the beginning of true acceptance, and it's understanding that other people in other places are going to behave in different ways, and that's okay for that place, right? And it's like, if the people around you in your society accept the way you behave, that behavior is acceptable. If I go over to Italy and see something there and go, that's not okay, and I try to stop them, I'm not there. I'm not at the acceptance of, this is cool for the place. And if they come here, they're allowed to socially judge me for my behavior. They're totally allowed to do that. But they're not allowed to tell me what's right or wrong, because like they're not me. They don't know America, right? And so it's like, if they come here and I start driving on the right side of the road, that's not illegal in Italy. Like, they drive on the left. And so they're going to freak out and tell me I need to switch sides. That's not, nah. Like, we're not doing that. I'm not going to die today, right? And so it's like those kinds of concepts. Obviously, those are a little bit dumbed down metaphors, but someone told, and so I do want to say, he specifically says that men are more likely to get stuck on even levels, women are more likely to get stuck on odd levels. So women are more likely to get stuck on the, I exist and have feelings, they exist and have feelings, and I know that if I do something for them, they'll feel good about me, and that will boost my social ability. And it's harder for them to get to the conformity level, the law and order. And when they're on law and order, it's really easy for them to get to the 5th level, where it's like individuality, like expression, and like, I am a person within I'm conforming to the rules, and I'm able to express myself. But then it's hard for them to get to the point of like accepting that everyone is an individual in their own lives and like the center of their own universe. That's okay, and like accepting that everyone's all right and loving. And so it's like men get more likely to get stuck on the even levels. So it's like, I'm more likely to get stuck on the law and order and not move up to the expression, right? And so it's like, and obviously these aren't like you're always at a 1 or you're always at a 5. It's like from day to day. Like, if you're really, really, really hungry and you're really, really, really tired, that's all you're thinking about. Your previous actions have caused your physical desires to balloon so much that your consciousness is lowering to the gut, where you're sitting there just going, I just need to eat. I will kill somebody for some Chinese food. Like, that's a very low level of consciousness thought of like, I am willing to commit crime to consume. Like, I need to eat. I need to find a bed. Like, I'll break into someone's house right now. I need to sleep. Like, that's a low level of consciousness thought. You're not sitting there going, okay, but if I break into their house, I'm breaking the law. And also, it's their house. They believe they own it. And they're entitled to any behavior that they do because of my action to enter their home. So if they inflict bodily harm on me, that would be a negative for my life and acceptable for them. You're not thinking about that. You're like, I'm so tired, I'm about to collapse. Like, I'm so hungry, I will literally eat a squirrel. Like, you're down there. That's a low level consciousness thought. And it's okay if you're there. Like, that's bodily caused, right? And sometimes when stressful situations are occurring, it's really easy to be emotionally locked into the situation. Like, this is really serious right now. This has to be addressed. And it's really hard for people to take a step back and be like, okay, if my roommate didn't do the dishes, they might have had a hard day at work. They might get them tomorrow morning. They might just not want to do the dishes right now. I will put it out of my head and mention it in passing or casually and make sure and be empathetic and understanding of their situation. But because you are stressed out by the dishes, you're sitting there going, I need to tell them, I need to tell them, I need to tell them. And it's like, even though you subconsciously understand, this is how I feel, it doesn't matter how they feel, because I feel this needs done now. But if and you're not thinking about how they feel because it's stressing you out. That's an example of someone who, you could be a person who generally understands and accepts the entire world as a whole, but you're triggered by the dishes happening, so it's a low level of consciousness.
And I think what he talks about is really, really cool. And I think the one thing I consistently say about him is I don't enjoy how often he uses female examples as opposed to male examples. Like, I understand for some of them, like, it's more common, if it is true, that it's more common for women to be stuck at odd numbers and men to be stuck at even numbers. It makes sense that for explaining the odd numbers, it's much easier to use women. That makes sense. But he uses this voice often, and he used it for level 6, which is supposed to be like a male get stuck there level. And I was just like, okay, why are you still using the girl voice? Like, are girls also getting stuck at this level? Is that a normal thing? And so it's just kind of like inconsistency, things like that kind of bug me. But at the end of the day, I think it's a really cool concept of... And someone had told me, you're stuck at level 6. But what that implies is I don't believe in the level system. I believe everyone's thoughts and ideas are valid and everyone has a say. Like, I would say it's almost a very liberal view of life. And it's like, no, everyone's valid. Everyone's okay. Everyone can share their thoughts comfortably. And yeah, I have already shared the comments that I, like, talked about and debunked, essentially. And I was sitting there and I was just like, you can read the comment I left. And you can read the replies. And you tell me I'm stuck at level 6. Which is not an insult, by the way. Like, that's pretty sick. Like, to be consistently level 6 is a very good level of consciousness. And I was sitting there reading it, and I'm going, everything I've said more closely pertains to a level 4. But with, like, rationality. Like, what is right and wrong. And so it's like, you're telling me I'm 2 levels above where I'm behaving on this topic when it comes to the subject of illegal deportations. You're telling me I'm 2 levels above where I'm behaving. You're telling me I'm higher than and I'm like sitting there reading it and I was just like, that's a good thing. Like, that's a good thing. I appreciate that. That's nice. That's a good thing. But I'm also just like, it's not correct either, because at that point, I'm sitting here going, no. You guys are all at low-level consciousnesses, not understanding that they are people too. Because, especially when it comes to immigration, there's multiple videos of, like, stand-up comedians talking about immigration. When it's like, yeah, get the fuck out. Don't come to our country. Hey, yeah, my husband just became a legal immigrant yesterday. Well, let's go. Same person. Going, get the fuck out, and then going... Oh yeah, he just immigrated here legally. Hell yeah, man! Welcome to America, baby, freedom. You would have been singing a completely different song a week ago, but because now that we've humanized it, it's fine. So it's like once the humanization aspect takes place, people are completely accepting of this concept. But because we dehumanize it and we go illegal immigrants, derogatory. It's like this big bad. And so it's like, to say you're stuck at a level 6 is so oxymoronic that I just had to share it later. And I know I've spent 11 minutes explaining this. So I'll finally get back to the day. All the goals that did not get done. I didn't get gas in the car. That's it. I did everything else. I did my morning video log. I edited and upload video logs. Picked up my focus meds before work. I work on video log descriptions. Moved my watermelon vine into the sun. I harvested green beans and cooked them and made spaghetti. I got the rings out of the Corey's car and I labeled the video logs. So I was cooking today, dude. It was really, really sick. After I made my morning video log, I literally just spent time and labeled all my video logs. It took like 10 minutes. And then edited and uploaded them while I played some video games and got ready for work and left to pick up my prescription on the way there. Work was pretty slow. Only interesting thing was like one of Ava's tables dined and dashed. That was pretty crazy. I like got photos of them and like got them on video and everything, and put them on Facebook and Nextdoor. So I hope they come back and pay. That'd be pretty funny. Ava and I ordered. She got a Kung Pao beef with extra beef, and I got a Canton special fried rice, dude, and we crushed it. I just finished my Canton special fried rice just now. So good. But yeah, when I came home, I like took off my shirt because it was hot, right? And watered my plants, obviously. But took off my shirt and I was like looking in the mirror, and I don't think I'm at the point where I like want to be shirtless on camera. I don't think I'm there yet. But I'm sore from working out yesterday, and so it's like, oh wow, very sore. Like all this is completely sore. All this is sore. My what's by the abs? What muscle inside of the abs? What muscle to the side of abs? Obliques. Yeah, like my obliques right here are super sore. My legs are a little sore, just a smidgen. I think my calves are a little sore. Yeah. But it's like that. All this is sore, dude. It's so sick. And, yeah, my biceps aren't even sore. But, I was just like looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm like probably the most muscular I've ever been. And I was just kind of like looking at it, and I've been gaining weight. So I'm at 170 now. And, dude, when I say hard stuck, and I realize hard stuck is kind of a brain rot term, like a slang term. I was hard stuck 145, 150 for a minute, dude. Like a minute. A very good amount of time. And I have had abs literally my entire life, and now they're gone. And I'm just like, let's go, bro. Let's go. Get me there. And I was like, I'm on the bulk, bro. And so I just wanted to share a quick daily thought about like the perspective of oneself, because I spent this whole time talking about consciousness, right? And like responding to a person who talks about consciousness, and I was like looking in the mirror, and my immediate reaction is always just like, what can I do better? Like what can I do better? But when you are looking at yourself, going, what can I do better? You're only looking at the negatives, right? And there are always going to be parts of yourself that you kind of admire. There's always going to be parts of yourself that you kind of shame. Like, it's just being human. But I was just, like, looking at myself, and I was just like, all the stuff I said I wanted to do, I've done. And I'm like, that is the coolest thing, dude. That is the coolest thing. I genuinely think that one of the coolest parts of being a human is taking and upholding responsibilities. And it's like, I don't think of any other thing that makes me feel more fulfilled as a person than saying, I'm gonna do something and fucking doing it. And just like, I remember there was months where I would just tell people like, I'm on the bulk. Like, I'm just trying to gain weight. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I'm just trying to gain weight. And now I'm looking at my arms, dude, and I'm like, my arms are like bigger than they've ever been. I'm looking at my stomach. I'm like, my stomach's bigger than it's ever been. And like, I really like that. I like, my chest is bigger than it's ever been, dude. Like, I really, really like that. I think that's it. Because I've been saying it for so long with no results that I didn't believe in myself. And then I just kept doing the things I was already doing, and they've started working extra. And it's like, yeah, I'm sure my hormones have changed a little. I'm sure my food intake has changed a little. Like, as I become more active, I'm sure things are going to change again. But I'm sitting here just like, looking back at all these days and days and days of goals, and just like hitting goals. Like, I'm just going to go back all the way to when I wrote, because I very specifically remember writing a goal. And I don't remember if it was April. I think it was. Was it April or May? But it literally just said, track all activity. And holy shit, track all activity I have, bro. April 21st. Right times of all activity. April is the 4th month, going all the way into July 26th. So 3 months of just every single day having goals, writing down what I'm doing for the day. Every single day, dude. Just every day. Like, that's just... What? Like, what, bro? Every single day. And just being consistent with it. It's so genuinely impressive to me that I'm just like, oh my god. I cannot even fathom who I am right now versus who I was 8 months ago when I started this. Two totally different people. If I met myself from 8 months ago, I don't know if he would believe that I am who I am now. I genuinely don't know if he'd believe it. And I just think, like, I'm able to think so positively of myself because I chose to become who I wanted to be. and I'm working to become who I want to become in the future. And I think that's so fucking sick. And I'm so happy to share it with you all. So, yeah. I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful Friday. I know I did. It's been a really good day. So, yeah. You can tell I'm getting tired because of my voice. So, I'm probably going to go to bed. I hope you all have a good night. Peace.